Hello there, how's it going? This is my 20th recording of the book Atomic Habits, and in this video, we will continue talking about chapter 10, how to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. Last time we concluded on this part, and I would like to actually continue from here. Where cravings come from, and here he talks about what a craving is, where it comes from. So, there are some deep cravings which are at the core of every human desire. Now, these are programmed into us through evolution. We can't change them. For example, obtaining food and water, you can't live. So, these are the basic things you cannot live without, basically. You can't live without food and water, so you will crave it. Now, you can't live alone, so that's why you will crave bonding with others and winning social acceptance. You don't want to make enemies, reduce uncertainty. People don't want to stay ignorant. These are the very basic desires that are programmed into us that we cannot change. However, when we have a desire to, let's say, smoke cigarettes or use phone, those are not real desires. I mean, in a sense of these ones. However, they are a modern manifestation, a modern version of one of the basic desire. For example, if you are addicted to eating junk food, now you don't desire junk food. The basic desire is food and water. You don't desire using phone, you desire being relaxed, for example. So the idea is that you can actually choose a different medium to crave your deeper desire. You don't need to use phone or play video games or eat junk food in order to satisfy your desire. You can use a more healthier way to to satisfy the same desire. Now let's read it. A craving is just a specific manifestation of a deeper underlying motive. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarettes or to check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety, to win social acceptance and approval, or to achieve a status. So now here he says, here's the powerful part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motive. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another person learns to ease their anxiety by going for a run. Your current habits are not necessarily the best way to solve the problems you face. They are just the methods you learned to use. That's the basic idea. We all have deep cravings, deep motives, he says, motives. However, the ways we satisfy these motives might not be the best. What we need to do is find a better alternative. So, cravings are deeply embedded into our mind, but the way we satisfy them is not. That's what we learned through personal experience. In time, you learn to predict that checking social media will help you feel loved, or that watching YouTube will allow you to forget your fears. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings, and we can use this insight to our advantage rather than our detriment. Yeah, that's the idea of make it attractive. If you associate an action with a positive feeling, you will more likely do it. So anyone who works out, they don't work out for masochism, right? They don't work out because they like pain. They work out because it feels good. Now people who don't work out, when they look at healthy people, they think the cost is too much, but there isn't really a cost because people who work out, they enjoy it. How to reprogram your brain to enjoy hard habits. You can make hard habits more attractive if you learn to associate them with a positive experience. Sometimes all you need is a slight mindset shift. For instance, for instance, we often talk about everything we have to do in a given day. You have to wake up early for work. You have to cook dinner for your family. Now imagine changing just one word. You don't have to, you get to. Now that's one very basic example of how he's telling us to make anything attractive or more enjoyable. The idea is gratitude. You, people say that they have to work, but instead of saying you have to work, you can say you get to work because most people live in worse condition than us, right? There's a saying that you are living a life someone else is dreaming for. That's a very powerful idea. You are living a life. You are living a life someone somewhere else is dreaming for. And but we take things for granted, right? We are entitled. So to make anything attractive, he's giving us our routine life, going to work, eating food. We can make them attractive by saying that we are getting an opportunity to do this because, as you know, life is finite, right? We are going to die someday, so it's a good idea to be mindful and enjoy every moment. And that way we can make anything attractive. The most basic idea, that's how the section begins. You get to wake up early for work, so you get the opportunity to wake up. You get to cook dinner for your family. By simply changing one word, you shift the way you view each event. You transition from seeing these behaviors as burdens and turn them into opportunities. I once heard a story about a man who uses a wheelchair. When asked if it was difficult being confined, he responded, I am not confined to my wheelchair, I am liberated by it. If it wasn't for my wheelchair, I would be bedbound and never be able to leave my house. This shift in perspective completely transformed how he lived each day. Now, well, some might say that this is a very childish perspective. Some might say this is a very mature perspective. But the idea is a man is on wheelchair. So instead of being negative about it, saying that I can't use my legs, he's being positive about it, saying that if I didn't have my wheelchair, I would be in a much worse condition. Now, you can make anything attractive by being positive. Reframing your habits to highlight their benefits rather than their drawbacks is a fast and lightweight way to reprogram your mind and make a habit seem more attractive. That's a very powerful idea, although it sounds very common sense. But if you think about it, there are so many things we want to do, right? Like exercising. Everyone wants a healthy body. Everyone, if you ask anyone, they will say. But one of the reasons they don't do it is because they think it's a sacrifice. It looks unattractive to them. They think they have to pay a price for a healthy body. However, if you make it look attractive, for example, how can we make it attractive? Well, you feel good after you work out, right? So you're not really sacrificing anything, and moreover, you don't really need to do too much workout anyway. You can get an energetic feeling after like a 10 or 20-minute run. So you are not making a sacrifice. That's what I'm saying. For example, eating junk food, people think they can't enjoy their life when they eat junk food. On the contrary, junk food doesn't bring any pleasure, honestly. It takes away your energy. So you are not really gaining anything from it. It looks good, it smells good, everyone eats it. However, just think about it. After you eat it, do you really feel good? Like after a few hours, no, you feel unenergetic and it's just hard to digest. It just puts a stress on your stomach. Now, here are some more examples. Exercise. Many people associate exercise with being a challenging task that drains energy and wears you down. Yeah, that's what people think. That's what people think exercise is. You can just as easily view it as a way to develop a skill and build you up. Instead of telling yourself, I need to go for a run this morning, say it's time to build endurance and get fast. These little mindset shifts aren't magic, but they can help you change the feelings you associate with a particular habit or situation. Hmm. So, you have some homework to do. You can't just read this book and make your life better. So, you will have to make a list of things you want to do and why you don't do it. One of the reasons you don't do them is they are not attractive enough. Honestly, that's one of the reasons they are not attractive enough. See if you can highlight the benefits of the things that you want to do. For example, for me, programming, I spent very less time programming because it felt like a burden, but now I am constantly thinking about how good programming is and how lucky I am to be in a position to learn programming. So we can finish this chapter in the next video, and we will also begin a new chapter, make it easy in the next video. Actually, this is one of my favorite chapter, walk slowly but never backwards, make it easy. So looking forward to the next video. Thank you very much.